Hi, good morning. My name is Dan Ramsawak. I'm a research technician here at NARI, the National Agriculture Research Extension Institute, and today we'll do a video on pruning. When we hear the word pruning, what comes to our mind first is that pruning means to cut, remove parts of a tree that are no longer productive or that are damaged, diseased. And why we do pruning is to remove it for a purpose. Now that purpose is to save the health of the tree, improve the productivity of the tree. So when we think pruning, I said cut, and when we think cut, we think of a surgery. So we could compare pruning to a surgery. So when you do a surgery, first thing you need a surgeon. So the person has to be trained who is doing the pruning, because you can make a wrong cut. Secondly, you need your tools, and I'm going to show you some of the tools just now. And we also need to sterilize those tools, because you're not just going to go and cut the tree, because if you cut one tree and then cut another tree, you could transfer diseases and all these things. Pruning is also it's science. It can get very scientific, but it's also art. It's 50% science and 50% art. So there are two types of pruning. There's hard pruning and soft pruning. Yeah, hard pruning means to remove at least 2/3 of a tree. You remove most of the material and you allow it to regenerate. And you usually do it at the end of the bearing season. So trees like pomegranate, cherry, after a while they become old, you chop it down and it will rejuvenate entire tree. Soft pruning now is basically trimming just to keep the shape, or as in the case of roses, you just break off the dead roses or the limb. So it's not so much, you just trim it slightly. Now the tools of pruning, I'm just going to show you some of the tools here we have. So first, this is the secateurs, and you use this to cut the smaller branches. We have here a saw. This is a hand saw, and it makes it very easy to go in the corners and saw the branches, right? We also have here with us loppers. This is for bigger branches, about inch and a half branches, and you have a bigger lopper here also. These extend. This is for bigger branches, like 2 inches. Now above 2 inches we would use a saw, or we would use chainsaw. This is a hedge trimmer. So if you want to shape the flower plants square, get a good shape around it, you could use this. Now, as I said, you need to sterilize the tools, right? So we usually use, you have sanitizer here, you could use chlorine, isopropyl alcohol, and you just, after every cut, you have to sterilize, or every different tree at least. Now, some reasons for pruning: if a tree is on a power line or over your roof, could be over your gutters, so you don't want the wind to blow and break a limb and damage a property or cause a fire. So pruning has many functions, and these are just a few. Yeah, so here we have a grafted Julie mango, and you've seen here it's very bushy, the grass is growing up, right? So we're going to do some pruning on this tree and try to improve it. So first thing, in terms of pruning, you want to clear the bottom of the tree, that there's no bush or branches here, right? So we'll just clear around the bottom. So the bottom is clear there, and the branches now, if you can see from this angle here, the branches that are going down, we're going to remove, right? So the smaller branches, we use the secateur. We're not going to do heavy pruning here, we're just going to do soft pruning, and that basically means remove very small amount of the material just to thinning up the tree. So where the branches are clustered here, we're just going to remove them. And when we cut to the color of the branch, which is very close. If you can come in closer, you can see the cuts. When we cut the branch, you cut right up to the collar here, right? The collar is that part which is coming out from the stem, very close to the stem. So we always cut the collar, and we cut it at a 45-degree angle, right? So we're going to thin in some more of this tree here, so that you can get some airflow, and also that the sunlight can penetrate. So as you see there, the tree now has become less crowded, and also the bottom is clean. So that's one of the effects of pruning, soft pruning, just to train a tree in a certain way and a certain shape also. You can see that it's not off balance. Here we have a limb that's going down, so we're going to remove this limb also. We don't want the limbs that are going down to the ground. We want to clear the bottom. At least 2 feet at the bottom should be clear, and there should be no vegetation there, because what happens is if the limb grows to the ground, insects, ants could crawl up and go into the tree, and they will bring different pests and disease also. So 3 effects are achieved here. We thin in by removing the crowdiness, and we also remove the branches that were going down. So this is an example of soft pruning to fruit trees, and this is vital in the younger stage because this is not a bearing tree as yet. As the tree gets older now, it will be trained in a certain way. So that's one of the effects of pruning. Yes, so here we have a lemon tree. This is rough lemon, and as you can see, this tree has become very tall, right? Also a little bit crowded and bushy. So we're going to do something called a reduction cut, where we're going to bring down the top and we're going to thin in also. Also we're going to remove dead branches, diseased branches, and dysfunctional branches. Those are those branches that cross each other and rubbing against each other. So all those are issues that will affect the health of the plant. So we have the lopper here, and we're going to sanitize it. So we assess which branch is going too high, which is this branch here. So we're going to bring this branch the level that we want it, around here. And we cut it 45-degree angle. You cut the 45 so it doesn't get the rainfall, water doesn't lodge there. You have to be very careful also. There's thorns. And you remove your materials to the side so you can work here. You're also going to clear some from the bottom because you don't want you walking around. At least 2 feet from the bottom should be cleared. So you can already see the tree has come down significantly. I'm just going to reduce now. This is a reducing cut. You just bring it back to the closest branch, clip off the branch that is going the wrong way. Now here we have a dead branch, you see, it's dead. So dead branches you take off immediately because they can be a home for ants and other insects, and that will cause the tree health to go down because this entire limb here actually is dying. So we're going to bring it down a little bit more. We have reduced the tree. This is the reduction cut. We have brought the tree, it was very high, we brought it down almost like half of the height here. And now we're going to do some thinning in cuts to thin in some of the branches here that are too much bushy here, and we're going to introduce some more light into the tree. So as I said, it's art, so we need a shape also. So in pruning, keep in mind that you're not just going to cut the tree and it's going to be half over this side, and no, you need to have it at a certain shape, right? So we're going to try to keep the shape of this tree. So we can see that this branch here is going a little bit that side, right? So we can reduce this branch here also, right? And you can see how the tree has completely changed from what we started with, right? It's shorter, the bottom is clean, and it's just some branches in the middle there. We're just gonna have to thin it now. So that's it here for this tree here. We've reduced it and also thinned it, and we kept the shape of the tree also. Morning once again. So here we're going to do a different kind of pruning here. So sometimes pruning is required for function, also for safety, or the tree may be hindering something. Like for example, this here is an experiment, and this Dong's tree, the limbs are coming across, so the material, the leaves are falling into these containers. So we're going to take out some of the limbs that are causing trouble here. All right, so we have the lopper. We're going to sterilize just before the cut. And as you can see, the limbs that are over here, if you come in this angle, you will see the limb there. So we're going to take off this limb. So as you see there now, we clear this entire area by pruning. So the branches of the tree are no longer affecting this this project here. So that's another aspect of pruning a tree, pruning for safety or for a function to remove the branches that are affecting experiment or something like in this situation here.